Have you ever felt unappreciated in a certain situation? It's a feeling that can leave us with emptiness and insecurity, especially if it's your close friend, family member or partner who makes you feel this way. It can be especially painful when you feel like your presence doesn't matter to those who are important to you. But how do you make a difference and become indispensable in someone's life? There are strategies to help us become a priority for others, and today we're exploring steps to ensure that we are always remembered and prioritized. The most important path to a solution is to understand yourself. Ask yourself, what makes me feel not important or not valued? Look for answers in your thoughts and emotions. Why do those who are important to me choose to devote their time to other things or people rather than me? The answer lies in the underlying reasons. Your family or friends assume that you will always be available, and so they underestimate your value, or they simply don't see you as a vital element of their lives. Facing this reality can be difficult, but it's important to recognize it. As Marcus Aurelius said, the knowledge of truth is the first step to freedom. It is this learning of truth that will help us change our approach and become indispensable in someone's life. In this video, we will explore strategies and steps to help us become a priority to others. Let's begin our dive and discover the path to a new level of relationships and self-worth. Step 1. Immerse yourself in the intricacies of relationships, especially with those who are most important to you. Have you ever wondered why your relationship isn't progressing the way you would like it to? Why the other person isn't reciprocating your interest and commitment? Maybe the problem lies in the fact that you initiate and demonstrate your interest too much. You create a routine in which the other person gets used to your constant presence and your attempts to maintain active communication. But what happens when you stop being available every minute? What happens when you pull back and allow the other person to miss you? It may seem counterintuitive, but the solution lies in giving the other person back some of the initiative. By suspending our efforts, we give the other person the opportunity to show their interest and take the initiative to seek communication with us. As Epictetus said, "No one can offend you unless you give him permission to do so." This is the permission we give when we continually initiate and demonstrate our interest. Taking a step back can pave the way for a more balanced and fulfilling relationship. This approach is not a game or a manipulation strategy, but rather a way of assessing reciprocity in a relationship. It is an opportunity to observe whether the other person shows interest in us and is as willing to invest in communication as we are. This interpersonal communication behavior is fundamental to the development of healthy and reciprocal relationships. Step 2. Idea of not being constantly available, valuing your time. This is what can be crucial to building balanced and healthy interpersonal relationships. What happens when we are always available to someone? We run the risk of being perceived as someone whose time has no value, or worse, someone who can be taken for granted. Instead, why not try to balance our availability by valuing both our time and the other person's time? In this context, quality, not quantity, is fundamental. Prioritize the meaningful moments of an interaction, and you will realize that while you value the relationship, you also have other commitments and personal interests. By demonstrating that you have a life of your own, you create an image of a whole and independent person. Not only does this improve how others perceive you, but it also strengthens your self-esteem. As Marcus Aurelius said, self-esteem is the foundation of all virtues. It is this self-respect that we gain when we control our availability and set healthy boundaries necessary for any relationship. This change in behavior demonstrates maturity, self-confidence, and an understanding that healthy relationships are based on mutual respect, not constant dependence on attention. Step 3. Maintain a certain degree of mystery. This is an intriguing and effective tactic in the art of relationship development. It is human nature to be curiously drawn to the unknown, creating a favorable space for curiosity and fascination. Incorporating this element of mystery into the relationship process, the way we reveal ourselves, can be a catalyst for the interest of others. Of course, it's not about deception or evasion. It's about gradually revealing aspects of ourselves, always leaving something mysterious to discover. This approach turns the interaction into a continuous learning experience, where each new discovery is like a page of a fascinating book. You create an aura of depth and complexity around your personality, suggesting that you are a person with multiple layers. Also, creating a sense of mystery around yourself can lead to positive idealization, encouraging the other person to take more time to understand you. This can make you a priority in that person's life as they become more and more involved in the process of knowing you better. As Aristotle said, "We love what we do not understand." It is this curiosity and desire to understand that can be a powerful catalyst for interest and connection in a relationship. Maintaining a certain degree of mystery can be a subtle but powerful strategy for deepening interest and connection in a relationship. And ultimately, the essence of being valued in any relationship is closely tied to how we allow others to invest their time in us and how we value ourselves. Step 4. Mutual appreciation. Mutual appreciation is the key to a healthy and reciprocal relationship where each party values and respects the contributions of the other. It's like a two-way street where both giving and receiving are crucial. When you allow others to invest in you, you create an opportunity to strengthen the bond and recognize your value. All of this not only increases others' respect for you, but also encourages them to make more of an effort to be in your company. Respecting your own needs is essential to maintaining self-esteem and self-worth. It involves recognizing and refusing to devalue situations and relationships, prioritizing surrounding yourself with people who treat you as a priority. Self-respect is the foundation of all virtues. It is this self-respect that we gain when we value ourselves and set standards for how we expect others to treat us. By making yourself a priority in your life, you establish an act of self-respect and self-care that attracts people who are willing to value and respect you in the same way. By valuing yourself, you show others how you want to be treated. This not only improves the quality of your relationships, but also strengthens your self-esteem and personal well-being. Mutual appreciation is an ongoing process of self-discovery, self-esteem, and self-affirmation that positively affects not only how you see yourself, but also how you are seen and appreciated by others. Step 5. Finding balanced interpersonal interaction. In seeking balanced interpersonal interaction, authenticity and self-efficacy are crucial. By being genuine in your actions and words, you create an atmosphere of trust and mutual respect. But what is authenticity in this context? It's not emotional isolation, but rather being transparent about your emotions and thoughts without relying excessively on approval or happiness from others. Authenticity strengthens interpersonal connections by revealing the level of vulnerability and honesty necessary for deep connections. Recall the words of the great Marcus Aurelius: "Self-respect is the foundation of all virtues." It is this self-respect that we gain when we value ourselves and enjoy our own company. In addition, maintaining a fulfilling and independent life is an important aspect of this quest. Investing in your personal and professional growth involves not only having your own hobbies and interests, but also finding activities that will make you grow to become a more interesting and developed person. Practicing healthy boundaries is also essential to developing a positive self-image and maintaining emotional integrity. Setting limits is not about being rigid, rather, it is about expressing your needs and expectations in a way that is beneficial to all parties involved. Saying no when necessary is also an important skill that reflects a high level of self-awareness and emotional maturity. Setting healthy boundaries fosters personal development and the building of beneficial interpersonal relationships. By striking a balance between giving and receiving, being open and protecting yourself, you create an environment in which healthy relationships can flourish. And ultimately, finding balanced interpersonal interactions is the path to personal growth, emotional maturity, and building healthy, respectful relationships. Step 6. Technique for awakening the fear of loss. This is quite a powerful tool that can be used to strengthen relationships. However, this technique requires careful analysis and approach to ensure that it is used ethically and constructively. It is important to realize that people value avoiding loss more than achieving an equivalent gain. In the context of a relationship, the perception of possible loss can reinforce the value attributed to the relationship or person. However, it is important to distinguish between consciously creating fear of loss and developing a relationship based on security and mutual trust. Emotional manipulation, even if subtle, can have negative consequences in the long run, harming both the person using it and the one being targeted. As Aristotle said, friendship is based on mutual respect and trust. Healthy relationships should be based on honesty, transparency, and mutual respect, not strategies that create insecurity or fear. While creating fear of loss can, in certain contexts, increase the perceived value of the relationship, it is important that this strategy is used ethically and respectfully. The focus should be on healthy relationship enhancement, building trust and mutual support. Strong relationships are built on understanding, respect and caring, not on tactics that exploit emotional vulnerability. This means that the technique of inducing fear of loss must be used with care and respect, so as not to harm the relationship and the people involved. Step 7. Cultivate your happiness. Cultivating your own happiness is the key to healthy relationships and personal growth. He who lives well lives in harmony with nature, said Zeno, the founder of Stoicism. It is this alignment with our inner nature that allows us to find true happiness independent of external factors. When our happiness depends on someone or something, we risk becoming emotional slaves, losing control of our lives. Cultivating our own happiness is the path to emotional independence, to freedom from dependence on others. No one can deprive you of your happiness unless you give him that right, said Epictetus. It is this right that we give to others when we make them responsible for our happiness. But what if we can create that happiness ourselves, finding joy in activities, hobbies, personal interests? This is how we become more resilient in the face of life's uncertainties, the ups and downs of relationships. Not only do we improve the quality of our lives, but we create an image of balance, confidence, and self-sufficiency. This understanding allows us to find happiness in all circumstances, independent of external factors. Cultivating our own happiness is not only the path to personal growth, but also to healthy relationships. We become more attractive, more confident, and create a healthier foundation for the relationship by allowing both partners to grow independently by sharing their lives. We can choose the path to happiness, to emotional independence, and to a healthy relationship. In sum, developing our own happiness is the key to personal growth, to healthy relationships, and to living a life full of joy and fulfillment. Step 8. Be prepared to walk away. "No one can deprive you of your freedom unless you give him that right," said Epictetus. "It is this right that we give to others when we tolerate disrespectful or inadequate treatment. Being willing to walk away is an act of self-respect, an act of protecting our worth and emotional well-being. When we demonstrate that we are not afraid of the possibility of leaving, we send a clear message about our own value and what we expect and accept in a relationship. It's not a threat or a game, but rather an act of self-respect and assertiveness. Life is a series of choices, and each choice is a chance to change one's life," said Aristotle. This understanding allows us to choose the path to happiness, to emotional independence, and to healthy relationships. Being willing to walk away is not only an act of self-respect, but also an act of strength. It demonstrates our strong commitment to our own happiness and well-being. Not only do we set the standard for how we should be treated, but we also take a bold step toward living a life that aligns with our values and dreams. Aligning with our inner nature allows us to find true happiness independent of external factors. When we choose to walk away, we are looking for something better, a path that more deeply aligns with our values and aspirations. By letting go of what no longer serves us, we make room for new experiences, people and opportunities that are better aligned with who we really are. This is an invitation to a life where our emotional needs are not only met, but valued. "Happiness is not in what happens around us, but in how we respond to it," said Marcus Aurelius. Understanding this allows us to find happiness in all circumstances, independent of external factors. Thus, the willingness to walk away is an act of strength that allows us to recognize our own worth and relentless pursuit of balanced and enriching relationships. A step towards a future where we are respected, valued, and loved for who we are. In conclusion, to become important in relationships, we need to develop inner strength, self-esteem, and emotional independence. It is important to remember that our worth and dignity do not depend on other people, but on our attitude toward ourselves. When we respect and value ourselves, we become more attractive and important to others. Cultivate your happiness. Find joy and fulfillment in activities, hobbies, and personal interests. Be willing to leave. Demonstrate that you are not afraid of the possibility of leaving if the relationship does not meet your values and expectations. Respect yourself. Remember that your worth and dignity do not depend on other people, but on how you feel about yourself. Create a healthy dynamic, set standards for how you should be treated, and demand respect and care from others. Be confident, don't tolerate disrespectful or insufficient treatment, and don't be afraid to be yourself. Maintain emotional independence. Don't make others responsible for your happiness, and don't lose yourself in relationships. Communicate openly and honestly. Express your needs and expectations, and listen to others with an open heart and mind. Value yourself and your relationships. Don't tolerate relationships that don't match your values and expectations, and don't be afraid to change or walk away if necessary. Thanks for watching. Leave a comment below this video. Subscribe to the channel so you don't miss new videos. Every day become more confident, happier, and create relationships that bring you joy and fulfillment.